what I talked about last time, which is the utopia of historical immanence. And by that I mean that in the 18th and 19th century, gradually, the God of the Bible, who created a real world outside of himself, so that God is not everything that exists. You can eat your sandwich without taking a bite out of God. It's a sandwich separate from God. It's in the presence of God, but not part of God. This worldview that the Bible gives us, which allows us precisely to interfere with creation, to give it a different shape, to do flood control, and to tell the mosquitoes to stay outside by putting screens on our windows, and to swallow medical tablets in order to improve the chemical processes in our bodies, which don't function very well in a fallen world all the time. This distinction between God and his creation was gradually abandoned. It was abandoned philosophically, it was abandoned culturally, and it was abandoned politically. Let me tell you what happened. With the people coming to this new continent, one stream of this utopian immanence or immanent utopianism was the experience of a marvelous continent unknown hitherto. And people came absolutely surprised by the magnificence, the stretch of the land, the variety of flora and fauna unknown to the European, the open spaces, the absence of a central government. All these things spoke of a new world. And since most of those people were in some sense real Christians, God knows, I don't have to decide that, were real Christians, it was easy for them to assume that they had come into a promised land, that they were the new people of Israel, that they would build a new Jerusalem, that this would be a new world. Not a world that, Mongol Americans, having immigrated from the other side 12,000 years ago, already knew, and thus for them it wasn't any new, but for us it was new because we didn't know it. And so it gives the impression that somehow God has blessed us because of the availability of land, resources, space, freedom to act as we wish to act, every man according to his conscience, etc., regardless of what was going on the East Coast once people had settled here. People were in Nebraska way before Washington was the capital. And they had to run their own life and so forth. They give you the impression that God somehow is present in that nature. That was part of it. The manifest destiny idea comes from that somehow God has produced this wonderful harmony between man and world and earth, and nothing can go wrong because we've, after all, crossed the Red Sea, we're the chosen people, we've come over here and created an exceptional situation because somehow we assumed we were exceptional people. As I said last time, I always point out that after all those people that came over here were Europeans and they brought their wickedness with them. They weren't all new people. They were the same people in new situations. And some behaved very well and others didn't. The second area of this immanence was seen because of the scientific progress and the democratic progress that took place in the 18th and 19th century.